not outsourced, gets moved outside the city center, then nothing huge is going to change.
That's true, and also when you look at businesses, they tend to be set up in clusters, and you've got these big districts, the CBD area, the Zhongguancun area, and for people who go to work in these places, I mean, if they can rent, near work, that would be really good, but often when people are trying to, purchase their own property, and then more often than not, they are without choice that they have to travel sometimes half the city to go to work, and that seems to be pretty common nowadays.
Well, I mean, I think you're right. If you take Zhongguancun as an example of where there are lots of sort of electronics companies, right?
Yeah.
This might be the way to go, because therefore people that work in the electronics industry, they have a job in that industry. If they change jobs, well then they only have to go to the company next door or 2 or 3 kilometers away in the same area, instead of having to travel across the city. So I think the idea of having industry-specific clusters is a good one, because then people won't have to travel too far when they change jobs, for example. If all the same sorts of industries are in the same areas, that would certainly cut down on a lot of the traffic and so forth.
Right. Again, I think this is good on paper. I mean, I'm not saying it's not a good suggestion, but, when you do implement it, there are going to be different problems. For example, Draco here has a piece of opinion. He thinks that simply moving the Beijing Zoo market to the outskirts will ease the increasing number of Beijing population, and he doesn't buy into it because he thinks that migrants come to these places, the market, for job opportunities, and if the government relocated, they're still going to look for job opportunities. So, people will always follow where the money is, where opportunities are. So,
well, if it's being relocated, and if it can attract its customers to the new place that it has been, picked up and settled down, then that would be sort of the solution. But what I wonder is, unlike university towns, that you have a whole group of people who are relatively going to certain places and staying there, with some of these business functions, or with the zoo small merchandise market that we're talking about here, I do wonder, after relocation, would it still get the kind of customer flow and those kind of things?
I think that's a fairly small scale example. I mean, talking about one market in a city with thousands of markets. But I mean, for example, locating all of the media, all the radio stations in one part of the city, for example, would mean that people, when they change jobs within that industry, there'd be no point in them looking anywhere else in the city if all that industry was in one area. And I think that could really help, not just obviously in the media industry, but in all other industries too.
That's right, and you're listening to Roundtable. Coming up next, a girl being harassed on a bus asked for help and nobody came to her rescue. What would you have done? Stay with us.
Join us every day from 1 to 2 p.m. on EZFM for Roundtable. Making sense so you don't have to.
It's Roundtable with myself, Xiaohua, Mark, and Huiyang in the studio. Let's start with a girl being harassed on a Changsha bus aroused public anger, as after the girl cried out for help, the bus driver teased her instead of assisting her to catch the perpetrator. However, the question to all angry netizens is, would you have helped the girl if you had been on the bus?
Okay.
最近一位长沙女孩呢，在公交车上遭遇了色狼。最让女孩心寒的是，期间她多次求助了公交司机，但是公交司机并没有帮忙，反而还嘲笑她。So yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's take a look at what happened, all right? So it was an evening, a Saturday evening earlier this month. The girl took the bus to go back home. The bus was crowded. Then there was a man aged about 40 standing beside her. And then all of a sudden, well, I think all we need to say is that the man engaged in a disgusting act. Okay? Now, it was probably the most disgusting act that you could imagine, okay, that the man could perform on the bus. Anyway, so he did that. The girl reacted quickly. She called 110. She told the bus driver that she had been harassed and the bus needed to be stopped. So, the question is, what happened next?
Yeah, and that's the part that really surprised me, because the driver actually said that, how do you say this? That there was no clothing being, taken off. So how could this have happened, as it doesn't categorize as harassment for the driver, and that's outrageous. And also the driver refuses to do anything else, and he later on even opened the door of the bus because he was afraid that people would not be happy to stay in a closed bus, and basically let the perpetrator go away. And when you look at the passengers' response, nobody seemed to act to help the girl, and they just murmured, and some people demanded to get off the bus. So in general, it just seems like a very cold atmosphere and a terrible situation to be in.
Yeah, I think we should give a little more information about what actually happened. We can say that the man was pleasuring himself, I think is a polite way of saying it, and that some of his, well, what can we call it, genetic material found its way onto the girl's leg. Right, so a disgusting thing to happen. Her young is looking suitably disgusted just by that very mild description of it, and quite rightly too. The bus driver didn't seem interested. He just made a teasing remark to the girl. She called the police, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. So basically, I think the girl acted pretty bravely. She did everything she could have done to protect herself. She even, got into a tangle with that guy, trying to prevent him from getting off the bus because he got no extra help, and the guy still ran away somehow. So, the question is, after everybody heard the story, they were enraged. There were a lot of things as to how could this have happened? What a bad driver or something with bad passengers. But the question really, as I asked before introducing the topic, is, what could you have done if you were in such a situation?
You're assuming that everybody saw exactly what happened from start to finish, and that's never the case. So many of the passengers may have seen nothing. Some of them may have only noticed when she started screaming, so they didn't really know what had happened. Mm-hmm. The bus driver's job is to drive the bus. But however, I think the bus driver, surely he does have some responsibility to take action to ensure the sort of harmonious atmosphere on the bus. I'm in two minds about who should have done what, really. It's hard to say, because the driver, firstly, he's not probably trained in self-defense. Secondly, he's not a policeman, he's a bus driver.
But all he could have done is not open the door. He did not need to catch that guy.
I think this is the solution that he should have done. Close the door, not let anybody off the bus, stop the bus with the door closed until the police arrived.
Yes, exactly.
And I think that's what he should have done.
Instead of teasing her and sort of shaming her and making this woman feel really bad about herself, when she, like Xiaohua said, did everything she could to catch that perpetrator at the time, and the driver just let him go away. That's just very hard to imagine, because I remember earlier I've seen repeatedly in the news when there's a thief caught in a bus. Usually, the driver bravely keeps the door shut. There's not much else you need to do, and then, and people sort of cooperate, and, the easiest thing you can do is not let the bad guy go away. But here, that wasn't even done. And I think underlying might still be the sentiment that this terrible thing happened to this girl, and somehow it is her fault to some extent, or there is still some sort of stigma going on. Why doesn't all the other passengers say anything or offer a helping hand?
Well, I think the answer is that they're on their way somewhere, and they're really not interested.
But if
I'm not saying that's my attitude. I'm saying that this is probably how most people think. Give us a break. We're not interested in this. We just want to get. We didn't get on the bus some dispute between two strangers, and we didn't see half of it.
Okay.
They just want to be on their way. And I think that's it. Let's take your example of a thief. Say somebody shouted out on the bus that someone just stole my phone, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I was a passenger on the bus, I would not want the bus to be stopped while the police arrive, to be honest. I mean, I'd rather just them solve it themselves. I think this case